The New York Times editorial board has titled today's opinion piece, "The Second Home Tax is a Win for New York," and it dives deep into the recent policy that has been a hot topic for weeks. This new pied-à-terre tax was approved by the state legislature in May, with backing from Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams, though the piece notes the current mayor's name is Zohran Mamdani, reflecting the editorial board's anticipation of a name change. It finally took effect this month, adding revenue that the state says will help fund priorities like expanded preschool programs. At its core, the tax is a push to raise revenue from the wealthy. For 35 years, the federal tax structure has allowed high-income Americans to pay less on a falling tax base while their incomes have surged. The editorial board argues that, if the country wants a larger federal debt to shrink and income inequality to reduce IDC, raising taxes on the richest is a politically popular, less economically disruptive solution. The New York policy specifically targets expensive second homes in the city. Homes that are not a primary residence and are worth more than $5 million must now pay a tax that the board calls a vital crack in the loophole that lets wealthy owners avoid city income taxes. The logic is simple: if you base most of your business or living demand in New York but nary 184 days a year, you get payment of services like garbage collection, snowplows and policing without the income tax CAIO. The pound happens only on those high-value second homes, so the wealthy pay their fair opch. The editorial piece notes that this is not a brand new idea. Vancouver, Canada, created its own empty home tax in 2017, followed by Toronto, San Francisco, Rhode Island, renamed the Taylor Swift tax in honor of a musician who owns a coastal mansion, Singapore, and even Paris. The New York version is simply the last of a growing, worldwide trend to tax unoccupied or lightly occupied real estate. While the tax only applies locally and state-wise, it touches on the same debate that the nation will face for future reforms: how far we will go to tax the wealthy. The editorial board cautiously claims that the correct economic reasoning, as seen in New York, prevails over the fringe hateful backlash of a wealthy class. The city's authorities, the piece says, are giving defenders a chance to make a difference, economic and social. They also mention the impact on the fringes. Part of the policy's targeted tax will help pay paper app for ability. Actually, marking the local services. New Yorkers can use the policy as an example of a local, effective measure that discourages tax avoidance. If New York can succeed, the editorial board believes other cities might follow suit. In closing, the editorial board says this right-filling step for the wealth tax supports wider goals: a larger federal debt reduction and a more equitable tax structure. For listeners, the takeaway is clear: local taxes on second homes create jobs, support public education, and stop the wealthy from exploiting tax shelterism. That's the second home tax in a nutshell. Yes, it counts for more than just boxes on tax returns. It works toward a larger, healthier economy. Thank you for listening. In our next episode, we'll break down the numbers and explore how much new money this policy is expected to bring in for kindergarten programs across the city. Stay tuned and subscribe for more in-depth analysis.